feel about answering questions that people send in, and why did you ever start doing this in the first place?
That is a great question. I think I've been really fortunate and blessed, and I think that my long career doing this, 30 plus year, 3 decade career doing this, has afforded me some victories and some defeats for sure. I've had some great times and not so great times. But what I did do is I stayed in the field. While owning a company, most people they don't want to be involved in the day to day. And for all those years that I was in the day to day, I loved that part. So I got exposed to an awful lot of situations that most pool company owners never get, because those are being handled by people in the field that never come back and ask the owner about things or here's what I saw. So they miss a lot of that. They're good business people. Me, not interested in the business part. I'm interested in that pool part and what I do. And I think because of that pretty unique circumstance, that if I was just an employee and I was just doing my job and I'd done that for 30 years, that's one thing. And that's, most people are either that, if they've been in long term, or they're an owner of a company who's gotten more involved in the owning the company business part, and they aren't involved in the day to day so much. And I sit in a really unique position because I chose to work in it every single day. So I've seen a lot. And I think because of that, it's made me want to help others. I know that in my story, when I was given the opportunity to buy the company from the previous owner that had to get out for health reasons, I had really limited places to go to get answers. This is all pre the internet for sure, but this is even pretty much pre cell phone. So it's not like I had a list today. I have 20 pool guys on my phone that if I came up with a question, there's a lot of people I could probably call. I have a lot of lifelines that I could call. Back then, I didn't have anybody. And I had no relationship with other pool companies because you just kind of didn't. Other than seeing someone at a supplier or hearing about them because you went on an appointment and they were on an appointment, you really had very little interaction with them. I felt very much like I was floating in the middle of the ocean, like a beacon in the middle of the ocean, and there was nothing for miles around. And I felt alone. And while I wanted to be the best company I could be and be the best person to do the job, I never had an easy way to get the answer. And I had to fight for the answer and struggle through the answer. And fortunately, I was intelligent enough, and my background afforded me to figure out most stuff. And I didn't get stumped by things because I could figure it out. But once I got through all of that, and of course now the internet makes it easy to get answers, and cell phones being able to talk to a lot of people and Google stuff, I still felt that there was a need for a voice, for someone that had the experience, that it wasn't just regurgitating something they heard. Just about every single solitary thing that I talk about is something I've experienced on the service end and on the construction end. On a rare occasion, if you ask a question and it's about some obscure, minuscule little product that I've never heard of, or I've never seen or touched or played with, I'll try to answer as honestly as I can. Or if it's happens to be one particular brand of heaters that I've never touched or seen before, and I don't have all the ins and outs of it, other than that, my hands have been in all of it. And every little part that you're talking about replacing on a heater, every little nuance of a filter, every little thing and doodad and doohickey and combination of pumps and filters and control pads and I've been there. I've done all that with my own hands, not just having seen it or witnessed it, but I've done it. And as a result of that, I'm in a good position to be able to answer questions. And I think that was, for me, the give back. I think we hit a point when we started to Ask the Pool Guy. We hit a point where there needed to be some voices that helped people. And it wasn't just homeowners with pools. It was also pool construction people and pool service people that didn't have answers. But it was also from the manufacturing end and the how-tos of things. And we just kind of were in this unique position where we had a piece of all of it. And my body of work, my life's body of work, has afforded me to see a lot of it. And have I seen everything? Absolutely not. There's so many cool things that I'm sure I haven't seen yet. And there's so many ways of doing things I haven't seen done yet. But my hands have been in all of it. And I think that's what gave me the unique perspective to talk from as specific of a standpoint, a place as possible, because I've been there. Now, sometimes we get these questions that they leave a lot of holes, and I'm trying to fill in as best I can. And I'm always trying to fill in from the most generic spot that I can. Because we could go down the rabbit hole and talk very specifically about things, but that doesn't answer your question if that's not your question, and it doesn't necessarily help someone else unless they have that one specific question. So I try to keep it as generic and general as possible to help a broader sense to get that answer. But also, if you give me all of the specifics, I can articulate a better, very specific answer. But usually they tend to be general, which then means that they don't just help you, they help someone else along the way as well. Good enough?